All right, welcome to Blitzed and Amused Episode 1 podcast. I'm here with Jaden. He is an Eagles
Hello.
fan. I am a Vikings fan, so this should be a weird podcast.
Oh, the dynamic's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, Eagles fans and Vikings fans get along so well.
Everybody just loves the Eagles fans, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're the best, man. The most wholehearted fans in the league.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about pretty much anything that happens around the NFL. Maybe we'll even dive into college football a little bit, just because the playoffs are coming up. There's the start of the first round this weekend, right?
I believe so, yeah.
I gotta see what games are being played. Um, yeah. What do you want to dive into first?
How about the MVP race?
I like that.
Like,
Um,
who do you think right now would you say is leading?
Josh Allen, without question for me.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. Like, he's miles ahead of anybody else. Lamar's with him in stats, I think, right?
Other than rushing touchdowns, I believe.
Yeah. But,
Because Josh Allen's got like 11.
yeah, Josh Allen is just on one this year. I thought the
And as
Bills
an
were
Eagle,
going to.
as an Eagles fan, it hurts my feelings because Saquon is having such an amazing season.
Yeah, I think Saquon is the non QB MVP, but I think he'll get Offensive Player of the Year for sure.
Yeah,
But
he's like Christian McCaffrey last year.
yeah, I just think it's too much of a QB award now because
Yeah.
the last non QB to win it was like AP in 2012, right?
I think so, yeah. And he was like 100 yards or something like that away from
I
Dickerson's record.
It was 12 yards away if I remember right.
It was 12.
I think 12 or 7 or some like crazy number, and Zimmer decided not to run the ball. That was awesome. She's like, "No, AP, you can't have it." Fucking
Oh,
Zimmer. Yeah, I think it's Josh Allen's award to lose, though.
I, that's kind of exactly how I feel.
I I don't know. Before Josh Allen went on this crazy run with the Bills, I was thinking it'd be Lamar again, based solely on stats. Otherwise, I thought Saquon had it before Josh Allen went on this run.
I think another reason that Josh Allen is gonna win it is because of like voter fatigue for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, it's the same thing that happened with Jokic in the NBA. Jokic should have
Yeah,
won it instead of Embiid.
you win two in a row and they're like, all right, well, we can't give you three. You gotta
Yeah.
calm down.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
ugh.
I don't know. I definitely Josh Allen's award to lose so far, barring injury, which I hope it doesn't happen, because he's
It's
the
crazy.
only fucking person that can dethrone Pat Mahomes. I think in the
Have you seen
playoffs.
his stats since he's got engaged?
Oh yeah, it's the fucking Sidney Sweeney effect, dude.
For real, like over 1,000 yards, like 11 touchdowns,
It's
no
insane.
turnovers. Oh my God.
I hope Sam Darnold gets engaged before the playoffs.
I seen a meme. It was like somebody married Jalen Hurts right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know. The playoffs should be interesting. Um, right now, I think it's Lions have the 1 seed, Eagles 2 seed, 3 seed is the um. It's whoever has the. I think it's the Bucks right now, isn't it?
Yeah, they definitely got to be leading their division.
I think it's the Bucks, and then it's the Rams at the 4 seed, and then Vikings, Packers, and Commanders right now. Which Eagles play the Commanders this weekend, don't they?
They do.
That is a playoff hungry Commanders team. That should be a great game. Are they playing in
Yeah.
Washington too?
Yep.
That
We beat
that's
them. We beat them at home the first time, and now we go to Washington.
that's going to be an interesting game. Jaden Daniels and Terry McLaurin have been balling.
The last time they played, Terry McLaurin I think had one reception for like
Yeah,
10 yards.
yeah, they
I
doubled him
feel
most of
like
that game.
I feel like he's gonna come out and he's gonna try to show out, but Quintanamo Bay is gonna lock him down.
Cooper DeJean is going to have an interception in that game, his first
You
ever.
know, there's one thing I love about the Eagles, and it is that the rookies have just been fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, you got Quinyon Mitchell in the first round, and then Cooper Jean fell into your lap in the second.
Hey, we traded up for him. You shut up.
You did. You did. He shouldn't have been there, in my
No,
opinion.
no.
But
So, if the playoffs started today, you're the 5 seed. Would you
yep,
play the Rams because they're the 4 seed?
yeah, yeah. Which I don't want to see Matt Stafford in the playoffs, if I'm being
That was
honest.
that was gonna be my question. How do you feel about that matchup?
To be honest, we play the Seahawks this weekend in Seattle. They're playoff hungry. That could go either way. So if
But
Seattle beats us, I think they take the fourth seed.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that the Seahawks really have a chance without Geno Smith.
I've heard Geno's gonna be playing. That'll be something to watch for sure.
I was gonna say without him, and they have Sam Howell, who just did not look like an NFL quarterback this
No,
last week.
he was supposed to be the savior in Washington before
You know, he was
Jaden
he was
Daniels.
pretty good. He was
He,
giving the Eagles runs for their fucking money.
yeah, I was gonna say you watched him more than I did, being an Eagles fan.
Yeah, I hated playing Washington last year, and I believe the year before that.
This year it's got to be even more stressful just because how competitive they are. They're the only other team in your division that can even like give you a run for your money.
I do love how they have already begun the rebuild, but it's not even like a rebuild.
It's like a Vikings rebuild, like a very competitive. It's like a reload.
It's like all they did, they added a couple pieces in the offseason, and then they added Jaden Daniels, and Jaden Daniels' piece was like the main thing they needed.
Well, they got a corner too at the deadline, didn't they?
Yeah, Marshawn Lattimore,
That was
and
a
I think
big
he just
pickup for
started.
them. Yeah,
Yeah, he just started.
that was huge for them. They needed help on that back end.
Yeah, but they did almost blow that game to the Saints.
Yeah. Speaking of the Eagles, what are you thinking about all the like controversy going on inside the locker room?
Bro, I love it because I watch media every day about the Eagles, and they always are like, we don't have a problem with it. Philadelphia has a problem with it, and then we grab a hold of that. I don't think it's ever been a problem. I think we have the best running back in the league. Why wouldn't you hand it off 30 times a game?
Yeah, and you
And
got
you
like
have,
a two people that squat over 500 pounds and a tush push.
yeah, and obviously AJ Brown is gonna want his targets, and if he's not getting them, yeah, he's gonna be mad. But you
Receivers
shouldn't
are
be going.
divas.
Yeah, exactly. You know with Stephon
That
Diggs over there, you know.
Oh my god, dude. And Thielen. Thielen was a diva for us. Not as bad as Diggs, but
I'll see. That's the thing. I love that though, because it means they want to be competitive. They
isn't there
want the ball.
isn't there someone beefing with Sirianni? Isn't it like the OC or something?
It was the defensive tackle coach because of Jalen Carter.
Is Jalen Carter like not playing?
No, he had a really bad penalty in against the Steelers before we got the ball in the fourth quarter.
I love Jalen Carter.
He
He
just straight
was
up
my pick in that draft to be the best player in that draft.
bro, he straight up just slapped the dude in the face on a punt return. He just slapped him for no reason either. He stood up and just fucking got him.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do. It's like God, who was that? Who was the one that like smacked the shit out of Crabtree?
Keep Talib.
No, it wasn't Talib. It was actually it might have been.
The dude that snatched his chain.
Yeah.
I think that was a Keep Talib.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Just because I hated Crabtree. Try me with the
And yeah,
sorry ass receiver like
yes,
Crabtree.
yes. Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
that's great. Speaking of the Eagles game, though, how do you feel about a 10.5 minute, 21 play drive to end the game?
That is insane.
That was the most wild shit I've ever seen.
That makes me afraid to see the Eagles. As a Vikings fan, we always get shit on by your Eagles. So our only chance of beating you guys in the playoffs would be if we got the 1 seed and had home field. I think
There's that, but I also feel like your defense is one of the most elite defenses in the league.
we let up a lot of yards, but we have the most takeaways, and it's not even close. We have a
Exactly.
takeaway every game this year, which is insane. We're through 14 games, and we have at least one takeaway or more a game.
Yeah. I don't
Like
know.
we made Caleb Williams. He played a decent game, not as good as his first one against us in Chicago, but We kind of had his welcome to the NFL moment with a strip sack, and we just made him look uncomfortable.
Was this just last week when you guys won 32-13
I think it
or
was 30-12.
30-12?
Yeah. Which the game felt a lot closer. We by far did not play our best game against them, which has me kind of worried going into the Seahawks game. But if we can scrape through this Seahawks game in Seattle, we're supposed to be getting Ivan Pace back for the Green Bay game at home, which having Ivan Pace back is going to be huge for our defense.
I would say that's a big get back.
Yeah, I mean Cashman's been holding it down. He's had a crazy season, but I mean having both of them is going to be insane. We're
But
getting
also,
healthy
like,
at the right time.
your offense is just insane.
It can be when it's so weird. We're so inconsistent. Like we had those couple weeks after the Lions game, which the Lions game Darnold didn't have his best game, but he played well enough, and we had the lead, and they beat us on a game-winning field goal in the last seconds, and that was
I
when
was
the
gonna,
Lions were like pretty healthy.
I was gonna say I don't really count like last second losses as like a real loss, especially against really good teams.
Yeah, that was just two juggernauts at the time going head to head, and then the Rams game, it was a short week. We played the Lions that Sunday, and then the following Thursday we played the Rams in Los Angeles. And Matt Stafford, it was the first game Matt Stafford got Puka and
Cooper back.
Cooper back.
Yeah.
So that
You
was
know,
that was tough.
I do remember that game after you guys lost, and all you said was because we hadn't played them yet this year, and you were like, "Well, you're gonna probably lose to them too." And I just we won 37-20. Just want to put that out there.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. They're such like a sneaky good team. Like when you think you shouldn't lose to them, Matt Stafford just has a fucking game.
To me, I think a lot of teams this year are the embodiment of what the Bengals are as well. They can score a lot of points, put up a lot of yards, but their defense can't really hold you for even a full quarter, let alone a full.
God, dude, Joe Burrow needs a defense, dude.
Oh my
That
God,
franchise is doing him so dirty.
they're wasting him and Jamar Chase's talent, and it hurts to watch.
I wonder what team T Higgins is going to be on next year because that's been like a running controversy going on for the past couple years.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like he's kind of like could go to some teams and be a wide receiver one.
Yeah, he's huge. I didn't realize how
Yeah,
big
like,
he was, dude. He's
and
fucking
he's
like what 6'3", 6'4"?
something like that, and he's fast as shit. Like, and he can
Yeah,
catch the ball. That's the best part. He can fucking catch like jump balls.
dude. I was hoping that somehow Quasey would pull some magic and get T Higgins from the Bengals at the deadline because fucking Jefferson, Addison, and T Higgins would be like unstoppable.
Yeah, but your third receiver, Naylor, is that his name?
Yeah, he's had a good year. He's
He's
had
had
trouble with
flashes.
some easy drops.
I was gonna say he's had flashes of like he can be really, really good.
Well, we still got like Norman Powell too, and he comes in and he was kind of a dog for us last year when Osborne wasn't playing well.
Small forward for the Clippers.
Yeah, yeah,
Is that really his name's really Norman Powell? Really?
I might be tweaking about that. It might not be Norman Powell.
I was gonna say the only Norman Powell I know is on the
It's
Clippers.
it's definitely not Norman Brandon Powell. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, Brandon Powell.
It's close, I guess.
Yeah, it's Brandon and Norman, same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But we have like two competent wide receiver threes that can step in if one's having a bad game, the other one will step up. And then we have Aaron Jones and Cam Akers.
Aaron Jones is he's a streaky player. I'll say that.
He is. He can catch really
He's
well out of the backfield.
he's really good when he is playing good, but
He's had
he
trouble with
when he,
fumbles this year for some reason,
yeah,
which he's never had trouble with that before, if I remember right.
maybe he just signed with the Vikings to fuck you guys over because he used to play for the Packers.
He wanted that Lambo leap in Lambo so bad, dude. O'Connell was trying to give it to him. That's what made that game way too close. Was we were just trying to force feed Aaron Jones to get him his touchdown, but yeah, I don't know. I think
Speak-
I think this Seahawks game is going to be another good test. We have a pretty rough stretch to end the season. We got Seahawks in Seattle, we got the Packers at home, and then we go to Detroit for the last game of the season, which potentially could be for the North and the number one seed.
So that's what I was gonna say. As an Eagles fan, I want to see you lose to the Packers and then beat the Lions and have us win out to get the 1 seed. That's what I want.
We have to win out to win the North, or the Lions have to drop another before us.
Yep. Which I don't know. I think they play the Bears this week.
Yeah, which with all their injuries on defense, I don't know how it's gonna go. The Bears are kind of sneaky good. They were 4-2 before they went on this big losing streak,
Right.
and I found it so funny because was it who was that corner number 29 for them that was like taunting the
Oh, he's
crowd before?
waving to the crowd. Oh fuck. I can't think of his name.
Um,
I want to say something Stevenson, but I don't think that's right.
I think it is Stevenson.
You do?
Yeah, Amandre Stevenson. Does that sound right? Tyreek Stevenson.
It is? Okay. Okay.
Tyreek Stevenson, yeah. It was funny because he was taunting the crowd in Washington, and then he tipped that Hail Mary for the win, right? And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
it kind of bit him in the ass again against the Vikings. We were up 10-0, right?
hmm
And Sammy threw a duck up to JJ as he was getting hit on fourth down, and he could have just swatted the ball down and kept that field position, but he picked the ball off, went down, came into our end zone, and mocked the skull chant.
You know, uh, I feel like in the moment it's got to be such a hard decision to make, though.
Yeah,
Like, like especially obviously knowing what he did in against the Commanders, he doesn't. It didn't seem like he cared enough about the game like that.
yeah, he
Or
thought it
maybe he
was
just
a win.
maybe he just wanted the stat. Honestly,
Yeah, I don't know. The Bears were eliminated from the playoffs before this game.
yeah.
And I think we clinched, but we clinched before the Bears game because the Packers beat Seattle. Because going into last week on Thursday, if the Rams won on Thursday, so if the Rams would have lost, we would have clinched there, but they won. And then if the Packers needed to win for us to clinch on Sunday night, and they won, so we clinched before the Bears game on Monday night. So it was kind of like we just needed to go out and play, and now we're specifically playing for the one seed. So we have a new
Yeah.
goal now,
Yeah.
which is cool because I haven't seen the Vikings be competitive for the one seed in a long time. Like 2 years ago, we had it on lock. Easy. We had that by week 14, 13, something like that. But yeah,
I don't.
we won the division in 2022 in that Colts game when they were up 33 nothing at halftime, and we came back and won.
I was gonna say was the last time y'all were actually like battling for the ones he was at 2017.
I thought we ran away with it that year too. I thought
That was
The
that was.
Packers might have made the playoffs that year and made it competitive, but
I was gonna say I think you guys went was it 13-3?
yeah, we had the same record as you guys, but you guys had
Oh, we had the tiebreaker because we beat you in the regular season, right?
no. I think you guys just had a better conference record, but we both got first round buys because that was still the 8 team format. So 1 and 2 seed got buys on both sides of the bracket.
And then you played the Saints, had the
Yeah,
Minneapolis Miracle.
yep. And then we went into Philly and we got dicked down by Nick Foles.
Yo, honestly though, for the first 5 minutes of that game, I was shitting myself.
Yeah, I was happy for the first 5 minutes, and then I went into scoliosis, and I was not happy.
Speaking of the Vikings and players that have played and or played for them, what about the whole Kirk Cousins situation?
Oh my God. Okay, so Kirk was balling out to start the season. I don't remember what their record was exactly. I could probably pull it up while we talk about this. But Kirk was balling to start the season. And I don't know where it went wrong for him, but once they started losing, they just didn't stop. I know
Dude,
they won against who'd they play this weekend on Monday night? Was it the Raiders?
yeah,
And
but it
I
was an
don't even think
ugly
they
game.
scored a touchdown, did they?
Nah, he didn't at least. I know he had 2 interceptions and no scores.
Yeah, the funniest thing could have happened in that Raiders game. They had the ball on like what, the 40-yard line to end the game or something, the Raiders did,
You know,
and they were down 5. And you know who started that game for the Raiders?
Desmond Ritter.
Dude, he could have just beat his old team in prime time on a last second touchdown.
I think that would have been very poetic,
That would have been. But
especially because of the Raiders and like, they're obviously not the greatest team.
yeah. Okay, so I got the Falcons pulled up. They started off 6-2.
What are they since then?
I gotta count it now. I should have had this prepared before, but so they were 6-2 to start off this season.
They still have only 6 wins.
7 now with the Raiders win.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so they had a big collapse. They beat
Are they
the Bucks to take the division lead, I think.
are they 7-8?
They might be. That sounds right. Because
That's
they beat the Cowboys, and then they lost to the Saints. They lost to the Broncos 38-6. They lost to the Chargers. They lost to us 42-21.
goddamn.
And now they just beat the Raiders 15-9. So
Oh, yeah, that was,
their last 3 games of the season, they have the Giants, Commanders, and Panthers.
I think I just can't believe that Atlanta paid him coming off an Achilles injury that much money.
I was so happy as a Vikings fan.
At
So
first, I
happy.
was at first I was like, why did the Vikings let him leave? And I seen what he got paid, and I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Well, we let Kirk Cousins and Daniil Hunter walk in free agency. We didn't pay them any more money. But combined with just Kirk's salary, we got Blake Cashman. We got Jonathan Grenard, who is having a career year, better than the one last year he had for the Texans.
But
We
yeah, then
got
y'all just like swap defensive ends.
pretty much, yeah. And I think Daniil's had a decent season, but I don't think it's been
What it
close
would have
to
been.
Grenard. It might
Yeah.
be. I could be wrong about that. I don't watch too much Texans football, mostly because I'm in Minnesota. I don't get them. But yeah, I don't know. The Falcons, I could see beating the Giants. That's Penix's first game starting too. They bench Cousins, which is insane. They're paying him all that money for him to sit the bench.
I cannot wait to see Penix start though.
Yeah, same. I'm so hyped for Penix. I have a buddy that's a Falcons fan, and he's hyped to see Penix start, see what he can do. And if Penix gets hot, that could be a dangerous Falcons team in the playoffs if he's just slinging it, because they got the offense for sure.
I was gonna say I feel like they're gonna be a sneaky fun team to watch.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know, they could be battling the Commanders for that 7th seed even if they don't win their division.
Their offense, honestly, like with the names they have, is actually kind of insane.
Yeah, they have Drake London and
Kyle Pitts, Bijan
Kyle
Robinson.
Kyle Pitts don't get used at all. Still,
Uh, yeah, I honestly thought with the coach getting fired, he was gonna get used a lot more this year.
same. Um, Ray McLeod has had a great year for them too.
He has.
He came out and gave us like 120 yards, I think, on our defense. But then again, our secondary is probably the weakest part of our defense. But, and I don't know. We kind of locked Drake London up. I don't think he had a crazy game. He might have had like 50, 60 yards.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I feel like the Falcons with Penix starting is gonna be because nobody has any game tape on him.
no.
So he might come out and just fucking drop 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, especially against the Giants. They've completely given up. They're probably playing for the first pick.
Dude, they're going for Shadur, and it's not even fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see Shadur go to the Raiders just to kind of spark that rebuild.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the Raiders be competitive in that AFC West. Just because the Broncos are a solid football team. Like, Bo Nix is balling. That defense is insane for them, too.
I think
I'm
that's
terrified of that defense, to be honest. I'm glad we aren't in the AFC.
I think that has been kind of the most surprising thing for me this year Is Bo Nix just coming alive?
I knew Bo Nix was good. I know I talked to you about that before the draft. I said
Yeah.
if the Vikings draft Bo Nix, he's going insane. But I don't know. I'm as a Vikings fan and a Michigan State fan. I was not happy about the JJ McCarthy pick at first. I'll admit that, but he's a Viking now, so I got to support him, and I'm actually really excited to see what he can do next year. I'm gonna guess Sammy's not sticking around.
I think
If
I
we
think he gonna get the
franchise
bag.
tagged him, if we yeah, he's gonna be a 40+ million dollar quarterback next year,
He gonna
and
get the bag somewhere.
we could franchise tag him for one more year, but his franchise tag is like 41 million.
Is it worth it?
We have like 65 million in cap space for next year, so we're doing well with cap. But if we bring Sammy back, that cap kind of goes away.
So I'm an Ohio State fan. As an Ohio State fan, I don't like JJ McCarthy no matter who he plays for, even if he would have got drafted by the Eagles. I
I
don't give
mean,
a
we're kind of in the
fuck.
same boat there.
Yeah. And I watched him play for Michigan against Ohio State, and a lot of the criticism for him was that he was a handoff merchant, that he would just give the ball to Donovan Edwards and let him run wild.
I mean, when he needed to pass, those big time throws that he made, he is smart. He is very football smart.
He's like a young Tom Brady.
Yeah. Oh, we can't make that comparison
No,
yet.
I don't mean like good wise. I'm saying like
Just
dinking dunks in college.
yeah. I mean,
Go
he's
underneath.
very athletic. We'll see how he comes off of that meniscus injury, but normally meniscus isn't all that career threatening.
Hopefully.
Yeah, no shit. I think what the Vikings do is let Sam walk, let him get his bag, and we have Kevin O'Connell is the quarterback whisperer. Like he has proven that he went 2-2 with Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs had the best stats of his career, I think, aside from the one game in Dallas that year when he started for Arizona.
That astronaut dude.
Yeah, the Pastronaut. But I don't know. Just O'Connell with these like reclamation project quarterbacks has been insane, especially with this Sam Darnold pickup. I mean, it's a great fit for Sam Darnold. He can take the top off of defense. He has an arm, dude.
So, what do you consider um like a win this season? You're obviously in the playoffs already. Is that already a win for this season? How you
No.
came into it with the views of what it was
I
going to
I thought we were gonna be like not this good, obviously, but I knew we were gonna be more than what they set us at 6.5 wins for the over under. I knew we were gonna be better than that. I projected like a 10 win team at the end of the season, and I thought we'd sneak into playoffs. But um, I think obviously you want your team to go to the Super Bowl and win it. That should be the goal every year, unless you're like a Raiders or Giants fan. That
Yeah,
that that was Giants had hope with Daniel Jones coming back, but week one against the Vikings, we kind of like made him look like shit.
I don't know why they would have hope against them.
I don't know. Well, we were supposed to be two of the worst teams in the league, and
Yeah, but
then
it's
the
Daniel
Vikings came
Jones,
out and won like 34-7, something like that.
something like that. That was
Yeah,
so.
I don't know. I knew the defense was going to be like rock solid with the additions we had. We beefed up the defense a lot over the offseason. And Brian Flores, like you saw how bad in 2022 our defense was. That's kind of what hindered that team because we
Is that
were
when you guys?
juggernauts on offense.
I was gonna say, is that when you guys went 13-3 and then were a first round exit?
I think it was 13-4 because we were the 17
Oh, there were
game.
17 games. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we got knocked off by Daniel Jones and the Giants.
Yeah, you guys had like the worst point differential for a 13-win team ever.
Yeah, we won a lot of one score games that season,
Yeah.
and we lost by a lot when we lost. And our defensive coordinator was dog shit that year.
That's
Ed Donatel, dude.
when you like only ran quarters.
Yeah, he was like Flores plays a bend don't break defense,
Yeah.
but we had Daniil Hunter and then we had DJ Wanham, who was actually having a good year. I haven't heard anything about him. I know he left the Vikings, but I don't. I want to say he's in Carolina, but I'm not sure. But Flores also plays a bend don't break defense. Like we let up a lot of yards, but our pass rush is insane. So we just make QBs uncomfortable and we get takeaways,
I was gonna say if you let up a lot of yards, it doesn't really matter unless you have a lot of scores as well.
which we haven't.
Exactly.
Like I think the team that put up the most on us this season was the Lions and the Packers.
The Lions put up 31, right?
I think the Packers put up 29 on us too.
Yeah, you guys won 31-29, didn't you?
Yeah, and then the Lions game we lost 28-31, 29-31, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds about
But
right.
yeah, other teams that play the Vikings, I've noticed that we make young quarterbacks look like shit. Like CJ Stroud, great quarterback. I'd say he's top 10 for sure, if not pushing top 5.
I don't know this year, man.
For sure top 5 last year in his rookie season, but
But he went wild last year.
yeah, and then he was good. That team was rolling. He was rolling. And then they ran into the Vikings defense and we beat them God, what was it? We beat them 34-7. We had CJ Stroud so flustered. And I don't know. We should have beat the Niners by more, I think.
This year?
Yeah, we should have been up 27-7 at one point,
I was
but
gonna
Aaron
say,
Jones fumbled on the goal line.
I think that's what you're talking about when you say you're really inconsistent. Like
Yeah.
you have games where you can win by 30 or 20 or whatever. There's games where you should win by 30 and then you win by like
Yeah, we kind of snuck past the rest of the AFC South because we had the close game against the Lions, that head-to-head clash or whatever.
yeah.
And then we had that short week against the Rams, and we lost by 10 to them in LA. And then we went and played the Colts at home. We
Hmm.
won 21-13. I mean, that was the first game Flacco started because they benched Richardson because that was when he was like
I'm
too
tired.
tired. Yeah, he was too
Yeah,
tired,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Never seen a quarterback do that in my life.
That honestly, I hated that. That was
Yeah.
so. Like, if he does that, who else on the team is gonna be like, you know what? I'm tired too, bro. Take me out.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. That Colts defense is legit though. They got some dudes.
You know,
That D line is insane.
I like Anthony Richardson
I do
as a
too.
quarterback, but I don't know if he's gonna work out with the Colts.
Yeah, he needs to be in a better situation, I think. Their offensive line really I think the Colts have the best offensive line in the league.
Whoa, whoa.
Okay,
All
Eagles
right,
fan. All right, I'll
all
say
right.
top
God,
3 just to get your fucking rocks off. I'll say they're top
look,
3.
look. I know I'm biased when it comes to the Eagles. I know. I'm not bad. I'm sorry.
All right, but the rest of the AFC South, that Jaguars game was so ugly.
Uh-huh.
So ugly. We won 12-7 in Jacksonville.
You know,
That was one of Sammy's worst games. That's when everybody started questioning Sammy. Like, can he do this or whatever? I think it started with the second half of the Packers game, and it rolled through. The Lions game, he had a pretty good game. The Rams game is, you know. The Colts game was iffy. The Jaguars game fucking sucked. That was like Sam Darnold seeing Ghost 101.
I was gonna say, do you think that the doubt came back, or do you think it was just people who were doubting coming into the season, like Sam Darnold can't lead a team?
It was them. I think it was them just like trying to prove everybody right about what they were saying. And
Yeah,
obviously, like, I feel like the national media just hates the Vikings, honestly.
same over here.
Yeah, they hate the Eagles totally.
Dude,
Um,
they
but
definitely do.
I feel like they just hate the fans because you guys are just pieces of shit. No, I'm
Whoa,
just
bro,
kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Honestly, I think I'm the nicest Eagles fan I've ever met in my life.
Yeah, you're still kind of an asshole though.
It's all out of love.
But yeah, I don't know. Once the we got through the Titans game, we beat them by 10. I'm not gonna pull up Sam's stats for that game, but I'm sure it was still a questionable game. And then we had the Bears. We were up 11 against the Bears with like a minute and a half left, I think, and they went down and scored or whatever. And then they got that fucking onside kick to send it into overtime. And then we won on an overtime field goal against the fucking Bears.
Yeah, did they fumble that game? Or am I thinking of a different game? Or
No,
did
like the
you just
Vikings?
received? No, the Bears.
Oh, I'm not sure. I think we stopped him and made him punt in overtime.
Okay, I think I'm thinking of a Buccaneers game.
That could be.
They fumbled in overtime. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the Cardinals game was really close. That was like our first like big comeback of the year, which kind of proved to me that like Sammy's got a little clutch in him. We were down quite a bit that game,
I think
and
you down by
the
19 or 13 at one point.
I think 13. But I will say in that Cardinals game, the better team lost that day. The Cardinals deserved that win so much more. They played so much harder. And then after that was the Falcons game where Sammy just went ballistic. I think he threw for like 340 some yards and 5 tuds with no picks on like 22 for 28 passing.
That day I felt bad for Kirk Cousins.
the
I felt terrible for Kirk Cousins, man.
the homecoming did not go the way Kirk wanted at all. And that kind of like started being like, the Vikings, Kwesi, our GM, has been so good at like seeing players on big contracts like these studs, like Daniil Hunter, Kirk Cousins, and just
Yeah.
saying, yeah, we're going to let them walk. They can take their money. And then they have very non-productive seasons. Daniil's been good, but like Kirk is the main one. But
See,
like
stuff like that I love because he doesn't fucking care about the criticism he gets when it happens.
the biggest one was after that 2022 season, they're still playing with Zimmer's team. That was our first year with KOC and Kwesi.
Yeah.
And they were still playing with Zimmer's team and Rick Spielman's team, our old GM. And our offense was amazing because O'Connell's scheme is crazy, and the defense just sucked. That was half Zimmer's team getting old and half I'd say a quarter of Zimmer's team getting old, and then 75% of Ed Donatel with his head up his ass the whole season.
Which is, I would say, is partly like almost like the opposite of what it is now. Your defense is elite, and your offense can be elite. Some days can be ass.
Yeah. But like after that 2022 season, he let go a lot of like the fan favorites from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Like we let Pat P walk, which I mean, cool.
Fan favorite.
He was when he was in Minnesota. He kind of had a career year that year, but he was like one of the only bright spots on that shitty defense.
I was like, didn't he only play there 1 year after the Steelers?
I thought it was 2, but I could be. I think it might be 1 actually. You
I was
might be
like,
right about that.
he had that career year, then went into free agency. Or did he get released?
I think he went into free agency. Um, yeah, and then we let Eric Kendricks go, and he ended up signing with the Chargers, and now he's on the Cowboys with Zimmer, which they could sneak into the playoffs. They're actually playing some good ball right now.
I hope they do because we'll play them in the first round
That'd be
if
amazing
we don't
for
get the
you.
1 seed.
Yeah,
I'd love that.
I'd take the Cowboys for sure, dude. Cooper Rush
I'll
in the
take
playoffs. Come on.
I'll
The
take the
last time
Cowboys over the Commanders.
I know the Commanders scare the shit out of me, honestly.
Yeah, yeah.
But the Cowboys, Cooper Rush scares me as a Vikings fan. Do you remember what happened last time the Vikings played Cooper Rush?
What happened?
Cooper Rush dicked us down like he was Tom Brady.
For real?
Yeah, big time. That was a couple years ago, but
Oh, that's part of his like 5-1 as a starter that everybody glorified.
yeah, I think that was his best game as a starter too. But yeah, Kwesi let a lot of fan favorites walk after the 2022 season. They were one of the oldest defenses in the league, and actually we let Thielen walk that year too. That's the biggest one. And everybody was sad to see him go, but his production was way down, and he wanted to go be that guy somewhere. Which I'm glad he went and got his bag in Carolina. And he when he signed with Carolina, he said, "Yeah, I'm coming here to win a Super Bowl." But you know damn well he just took his money.
I think he has been one of the bright spots for Bryce Young.
Yeah, I mean he's a veteran receiver and he has been one of the most consistent pass catchers in the NFL since he came into the league.
How you feel about how Bryce Young has been playing as of late? Not this last Cowboys game because he's good in that game,
He
but
was
like
balling.
the games before that, he was like they made a bad choice putting Andy Dalton in at the beginning of the season, huh?
Yeah, I love Bryce Young, and I don't know. I think the benching was good for him. Honestly, I think him coming in, watching Andy Dalton ball out, and then shit the bed, and then he gets the starting job again. Andy Dalton, I will say he was a good quarterback. He still
Once
can
upon a
be.
time.
It's like a Joe Flacco situation, you know.
Yeah.
And he's got a lot of experience in the league.
I
And yeah, I don't know. He's a good vet to kind of coach Bryce and everything.
I was gonna say the whole Bryce Young thing. It's kind of like the good way of how they benched Anthony Richardson. It's like
Yeah.
that's the good outcome of what could have happened, but
Yeah,
it
yeah,
didn't.
yeah. I don't know. Bryce has been balling. I mean, Xavier Leggett has been a great pickup for them through the draft.
He really
Listening,
has.
listening to him talk is the best part too. He is so funny. I don't know. I think you kind of want to do a little top 10 power ranking
Sure, I'm down.
just for the whole league. You want to start
The
with
whole
10?
number 10. For me, I'm gonna put the Commanders at 10.
I can respect that. God, I'm trying to think of who could be at 10. As of late, I think it's the Rams. Rams at 10. I'd put the Commanders a little higher than 10, for me at least.
So number 9, probably gonna have to go with the Broncos.
I like that. I'll
Yeah,
agree with that too.
yeah,
Broncos
I
at
do
9.
believe that the Broncos are a little bit better than the Commanders, honestly.
Yeah, I don't. It depends on the game. Honestly, they're pretty evenly matched. If they would go head to head,
It would be a really good game.
it would be. It'd be a great game.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that as the Super Bowl?
I'd be sad, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Um, Number 8, I'd probably say Steelers. They
Yeah,
they
that
they kind of shit the bed in Baltimore, didn't they?
they didn't wait with like they play Baltimore this Saturday, and the first time I think they won. They just shit the bed against the Eagles last week.
Yeah, you might be right. Um, I don't know. They were without George Pickens, I think, too.
Yeah, these last 2 weeks they
I
didn't
don't
have
I don't think
Pickens.
they played Baltimore actually, because Baltimore played the Giants, didn't they?
When they played Baltimore this season,
Yeah, earlier in the season.
and they won, but
Yeah,
they
yeah,
played
yeah.
Baltimore this coming Saturday.
Yeah, that divisional games are always tough, no matter who it is.
Yeah,
I mean, you can look at the Chiefs almost losing to the Raiders. You know, they were a blocked field goal away, right? Or no, that was the Broncos game. I think they were a
yeah,
gust of wind away from losing
they
to
were
the.
they were a fumble away.
That's
That
what it
was the
was.
Yeah, and then they made
That
up
that
that
was
call, and
controversial, dude.
yeah, I mean, hey, that's the 2024 Chiefs though.
Yeah,
Controversial is the name of the Chiefs.
yeah. I think they ride that too. I think they love
They
it.
do. But
They.
Mahomes is injured now, week to week, so
I was kind of hyped to see Carson Wentz play because I do think he's still got some gas left in the tank, especially under Andy Reid in that offense.
you know, I love Carson Wentz. He brought so much to the city of Philadelphia in that 1 year at the Super Bowl. But we gave him a chance 2 years straight after that Super Bowl run, and he just did nothing with it.
Yeah,
So I can't say I'm excited to see because I already did see, and it was not pretty.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, should we
uh,
go to number 7?
Number 7.
I'm gonna say the Ravens.
That's
Put
yeah,
them
that's
right above
probably
them.
where I was gonna go. Yeah,
Ravens, yeah. Lamar has been playing out of the mind. They're 9-5. I mean, the Steelers
it's
have a
just their
better.
deep.
Yeah, the Steelers are winning that division right now, right? Or no, they're not in the
Uh,
Steelers. Yeah, they're winning the division right now at 10 and
yeah,
4.
they're. Yep, and they play this week, so I think whoever wins this week is basically winning that division
Yeah,
completely.
but they're both going to make playoffs for sure, barring
Oh
like a
yeah,
complete fucking meltdown. But yeah, I mean, Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, that's all you can say. They're going to be in the playoffs. They're going to be dangerous. And especially the AFC is wide open to me.
that's what I was gonna say. The AFC is a lot different than the NFC.
Yeah, the NFC is strong. We're going back to like when the NFC was just the conference back in like the early, or not the early, the late 2000s, early 2010s. We were just the conference.
I was gonna say the Seahawks are 8-6 and not in the playoffs.
Yeah. Number six, I'm putting the Packers. Very
Yeah,
solid team. They're scary. I'm scared to play them. I'll admit it.
I think
We
it all
usually
depends
split with the
on.
Packers too, so that doesn't help us.
I was gonna say it all depends on how Jordan Love wants to play that day.
Yeah,
You could get Jordan Love from last year in the playoffs against the Cowboys, or you could get Jordan Love fucking anytime this year where he basically doesn't throw for over 200 yards and has 2 interceptions.
yeah, and they have Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
Jaden Reed has been balling out. Shout out Michigan State.
Even Christian Watson's been balling out on that team.
Yeah, going into this year, I thought Christian Watson was the fourth best receiver on that team, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, Romeo Dobbs,
I forgot about that. Oh my god, I forgot about him.
Jaden Reed, and they have another receiver that I can't think of his name right now. Um, why am I like shitting the bed on this?
You talking about the fourth string?
Dontavian Wicks.
Oh, I heard
He's
about that.
actually really solid.
I heard about him because of fantasy football. That's about it.
Yeah, I thought he was better than Christian Watson, but Christian Watson has kind of proved me wrong this season. Number five, I'm gonna put the Vikings.
You can put the Vikings 5.
Yeah, until we beat the Lions, even with their injuries,
I
I
was gonna say the Texans.
I don't even have the Texans in my top 10. They're just outside it. They'd be 11.
Really?
Yeah,
Because
I think everyone we've said has been better than the Texans this season.
uh,
If they had Diggs, I'd put them in here. Obviously, they'd be doing better, but CJ
I guess
Stroud has had like a sophomore slump year too.
yeah. Okay, all right. I'll confer and I'll agree.
So Vikings at 5, you think, or were you going to put them higher?
I was gonna put them 4.
Who's 5 for you, Lions?
I said the Texans.
Oh, so Lions aren't even in your top 10, or are you kicking somebody out?
Nah, the Lions are gonna be higher.
Okay, I see. Okay, so Texans at 5 for you. 4, I'm putting the Lions, just because of
Four,
their
I was
injuries.
4. I was gonna put the Vikings.
Okay, okay. Yeah, we really don't need to go into the Lions' struggles right now on defense because they've still
No.
been balling out. I mean,
Yeah.
they've let up a ton of points though because they're so injured. And if they were completely healthy, that's the best team in the league by far.
Yeah, 100%. Their
Um,
offense can put up 45. Their defense can stop you from putting up 20.
yeah. I don't know. Um, Number 3, I'd say the Chiefs. They have the best record in the league, but I don't know. They've had so many situational things that could have gone wrong, and I think Buffalo kind of exposed them a little bit. They have
Yeah.
been injured, and they are getting a lot of help back on the offense. I think, God, what's his name? Hollywood's coming back this week.
He's coming back this week.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think
So,
so. When I watch the Chiefs, it seems like Patrick Mahomes is scared to throw to anybody.
yeah, I mean,
'Cause-
can you blame him? He probably has MVS PTSD.
but like he doesn't have anybody other than Kelsey, and even then, Kelsey has not been having a crazy.
No, they went out and got D Hop, and D Hop's still he's playing good, but it's just the wind down of the career for him.
It's just like he doesn't have that trust in his receivers that they're gonna catch the ball.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
And
The defense is still rock solid for them though.
yeah, hey, I
Like
want to trade.
they're
I do want to trade the Texans out. I forgot there were so many good teams.
yeah. You put the Texans at 11 like I am.
Yeah, and I'll put the Chiefs at my 5 spot.
Okay, so 3 is Lions for you then. I'm
Yeah,
guessing.
3 is Lions. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Number 2, I'm putting the Bills.
Same.
Yeah, the Bills have been. I think they're the best AFC team. They're my pick to make the Super Bowl out of the AFC because Josh Allen has just been on a tear. The only thing that scares me about that Buffalo team is their defense. They've let up a lot of points.
So for my AFC Championship matchup, I have the Bills versus the Ravens, and whoever can win that fucking shootout, they're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean that those are my top two teams for the AFC. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. Pat Mahomes is going to ball out in playoffs regardless. He's just that guy. He's
Yeah.
proven that time and time again. I don't mean to sound like Chris Collinsworth here, but he
It's
is
a little
just
my homie.
yeah, dude, yeah. Oh my god. Chris Collinsworth ruined one of the best Buffalo Bills plays of all time by saying, "Oh, they brought a little Kansas City to Buffalo today." Oh my god, that lateral, dude.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't think so. Was that from this year?
Yeah. Josh
Oh, when
Allen threw it
yeah,
to
when he
Amari Cooper, and then Josh
yeah,
Allen
okay,
just
okay,
took the
okay.
lateral in.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that defense is the only thing that scares me about that Buffalo team, which the Ravens defense is kind of in the same hole here. I think losing Patrick Queen to the Steelers was a big loss for them in the offseason for this defense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it shakes out playoff time. Maybe after this we can do a little early playoff predictions and do some matchups or something.
Yeah. And
Um,
at the number one spot,
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, baby.
You were happy about that.
I am happy about that.
They are playing their best football at the right time.
Yes. The same time last year, we were going on an insanely big losing streak.
Yeah. You guys still made
Um,
playoffs last year though, didn't you?
yeah, we went 11-6 and were bounced in the first round by Tampa Bay.
Oh yeah, that was the Baker legacy game.
Yeah, and he fucked us up.
Baker has been a great story. That's kind of how I feel about the Sam Darnold situation. It's kind of the same thing with Baker. You get into the right situation, right coaching, right weapons. And I don't know. It's going to be interesting with Sam Darnold this coming off season if we let him go. He is going to have to be. He can either take his bag, but I don't think he's going to have near the production that he does, or he can take a little bit less money, go to a great situation. Like there's, I'd say there's 6 or 7 QB needing teams going into this offseason. And there's only like what 2 or 3 guys from this draft class that are going to be like remotely worth a shit, barring a crazy story.
Shadur and Cam Ward.
Yeah, I could see Ewers making some noise if he doesn't stay in college.
I was gonna say, is he going into the draft?
I think so, but I heard that Michigan State offered him like $4 million NIL to come there next season and skip the draft. But
Man,
honestly, yeah, I'd rather see Ewers go to the league.
to be 20 years old and getting $4 million for his like, nah, I don't need it.
Well, he's gonna get that in a league contract. I think Ewers is a second round quarterback.
But he already knows he can compete in college. He go get 4 million. He put up the same stats he put up this year, and next year go to the draft.
He doesn't have if he went to Michigan State, dude, he doesn't have near the weapons that Texas has. Our O line sucks at Michigan State.
I guess I don't watch Michigan.
Yeah, I do. It's very sad to watch, to be honest.
I watched one game this year.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. We don't talk about that. I also watched the Oregon game too. That was even worse.
Same.
Um, but yeah, it'll be interesting. I think Sam could it be, I don't even know where he would go. I could if the Giants somehow screw this up and win a couple games and are outside the good quarterback range. I think Sam could go to New York and be back in MetLife. Hopefully he doesn't see ghosts, but
Uh,
I don't know. The offense at least is looking on the up. It's just their defense that the Giants that sucks, dude. Like their
and
Malik Neighbors is such a weapon.
I I hate the Giants for how much talent they have wasted since
Yeah,
2016.
yeah,
OBJ fucking I'm just gonna say this: Malik Neighbors is gonna get wasted. Quarterback they take in the first gonna get.
Yeah,
It's not a good situation to go to.
yeah. Did you ever see that clip before the draft of like the Giants GM and his kids sitting around in the office and he was asking his
They're
kids like, "Who do you want to take?" And his daughters are all like, "JJ McCarthy because he's cute."
yeah, and
And
then his
the
son was
son was
like,
like, "Jaden Daniels, you only get this job once."
exactly, and he's not wrong.
Dude,
Like,
Jaden Daniels is my pick to be the best quarterback in this class, and he is. I mean, Bo Nix has been up there too, but Jaden Daniels is just an animal. Not
I mean
saying that Bo Nix isn't, but
that kid also said, "There's no way you can lose this draft," and he's not wrong. They took Malik Neighbors, and he's still a fucking amazing get.
yeah, for
But
sure.
when you have no one to throw him the ball, how amazing of a get can he be?
Yeah, they got Tommy DeVito is starting there. No, it's Drew Lock, right?
Well, they're both injured. Tim Boyle finished the last game.
Oh,
Tim Boyle.
Malik Neighbors, if this somehow gets to you, I am so sorry, my brother. We have a home for you in Minnesota.
Oh, hold on, nah, chill. Be like Saquon, come on.
Dude, I also saw another fucking Giants GM clip over the offseason that when it was the whole Saquon situation. And the owner walked into the GM's office and was like, give Saquon a call, but if he goes to the Eagles, I won't be able to sleep.
You know, I that's one thing I love about Saquon Barkley is he never like he don't have no ill will towards the Giants.
No, he's just going out and balling out. I mean, how can you though? They're like the team that gave you your first chance, you know?
I think the only reason, like, if it was me, I would because he made it vocal that he wanted a long-term contract. But it isn't a running back league. So why
No,
give a running back 13, $14 million a year?
which is sad.
It really is.
Running
But
backs
there's
used to
team.
be like running backs were the guys that like at least me were the guys that were my favorite position on the field. I mean, I grew up with Adrian Peterson, you know, so
But they were also the fucking workhorses who had all that shit put on their back, and it's like, you go get us 10 yards on this run.
yeah, especially like the late 2000s and the early 2010s when it was still a running league.
Yeah. CJ 2K, Sean Alexander, all them motherfuckers
Yeah, I was a big you remember Steven Jackson for the Rams?
for the Rams.
Yeah, that motherfucker was Derrick Henry before Derrick Henry.
I think it's funny because any team that went out and paid a running back a lot of money this last year got fucking criticized to all end. Even the Eagles for signing Saquon Barkley at $14 million per year. They got
Yeah,
criticized for signing him.
yeah. I don't know, man. I I think the Vikings picking up Aaron Jones was huge too. That's going to be interesting in the offseason too because he's on a contract year as well. I think if we can get him back at a good price, you know, I think after this season he's having a lot of fun there. I think he's going to want to stay. But if he can go get a bag like a big fucking contract somewhere else, I wouldn't be mad at him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I remember I called you when the Saquon news hit. I'm the one that told you about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think you believed me at first. It was
Well,
just
obviously
surreal.
not. I think so. For me, Saquon Barkley has been a big fucking name just in the NFL.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah. It's like him, Derrick Henry, and Christian McCaffrey are the big three running back names. I
And
might be forgetting someone, but I don't think so.
like, if I called you and I told you, hey, the Vikings just signed Saquon Barkley with that offense that you already have, there ain't no way. Don't lie to me. What
Yeah,
are you talking about?
yeah. I don't know. I think the Vikings have slightly better receivers than the Eagles, just as a
Oh,
duo.
oh, oh, oh.
It's like
Really?
one and two. It's
Oh,
one and two. It
we
really
getting
is.
into arguments now,
Oh,
huh?
okay. Okay. Listen,
I'll give you Justin Jefferson over AJ Brown, but I'm not giving you Addison over Smitty. You
it's
shut the hell
close.
up.
It's
It's
close.
not.
It
It's not.
is. It is close.
Listen, I don't think it is.
I think it is. I do. I don't know. I think it's one and two either way we look at this. I don't know any other receiving cores that are close to this that I can think of. Maybe like if Diggs was healthy with the Texans, him and Collins.
I don't know what's been going on with the Texans this year.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, the Diggs injury kind of deflated them a little bit. You could see it.
But like they didn't have Diggs last year.
No, it was the Nico Collins show in Tank Dell.
Damn, what was I thinking putting in my five? What the fuck is wrong with me?
Who?
The Texans. What is wrong with me? Why would I even think to put them at five?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what you were doing there. I would think you'd move everybody up and put the Texans at 10, but
Nah. So I don't know, man. I just like I like the Texans. Obviously, Ohio State. I'm a CJ Stroud fan. I want
I'm
him
a
to be
big
great.
CJ Stroud fan.
And he's been the only successful like Ohio State quarterback, and I'm so happy for that.
Yeah.
Because Justin Fields, I'm a big Justin Fields guy. Still, I think the Bears should have kept him.
Yeah, me too. That is big, dude. There's been like stats floating around, which you really can't compare, but I think
No.
Justin Fields last year at this time was balling. I think they went 5-3 to end the season.
Yeah.
And I think Caleb has a much better roster around him, but you really can't compare it because Justin's been in the league for so much longer than Caleb.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Obviously, it was Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix this year. And Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix this year, and CJ Stroud obviously last year, but I don't know. You really can't hate on a rookie for having a subpar season, I don't think.
See, I don't like everybody criticizes Caleb Williams just for like what he does off the field, but I like his game on the field. Honestly, like everybody was making jokes about him like it's like a kid playing Madden, pressing a bunch of buttons. But he's trying to extend the play. He's trying to do what a mobile quarterback does.
Yeah, he's great in the pocket. He has great awareness, but
He does. And then there was that one throw in preseason where he fucking like was falling back, threw it like 60 yards,
yeah. Or
and
even the
everybody was
first
like,
game
"Oh, this
against
is
the
what we're gonna see."
Vikings, dude. I can't remember who he threw it to, but he was running out of bounds off his back foot, up like staying inbounds by the sideline, and just dropped one of the most beautiful passes I have ever seen to the running back for a gain of like 30.
Really?
Yeah, it was beautiful.
All right. So we talked about MVP, talked about playoffs.
Should we do our playoff bracket?
I think we should.
All
Want to
right.
start?
Yeah, let me pull up a bracket just to see here.
Like if the playoffs started today.
Yeah, do you want to go conference by conference? We can start with the AFC.
Yeah, we can start with the AFC.
So if the playoffs started today, it'd be Chiefs 1, Bills 2, Steelers 3, Texans 4, Ravens 5, Broncos 6, and Chargers 7. Oh my God, the Colts are on the bubble. They're 2 games back from the Chargers though, so
Yeah, they're yeah.
yeah, the
They're
AFC is
basically
pretty much set in stone.
basically yeah. 3 games left. They need a lot to happen.
Yeah, they need the Chargers to just drop their last 3.
Yeah.
But actually, the Chargers play Denver this week, so it could happen. All right. So right now, Chiefs would have a first round bye. It'd be Texans, Ravens, Broncos, Steelers, and Chargers, Bills.
Yes.
So Bills beat Chargers by 21.
Do you think that's a close game? You don't think that's a close game?
It
With
could be.
how good the Chargers defense has been, other than this last week.
I
letting
think
up
it'd be a
40.
high scoring game.
I don't think the Chargers got a high scoring game in them like that.
I think if it came down to a shootout, which it would be,
Yeah,
the Bills' offense is just a train that cannot be stopped.
I do think the Bills do win that game, and I don't think it's close. I think it is pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, so then Broncos Steelers.
Broncos.
I think the Broncos sneak out with it.
I think the Steelers get them
It'd be such a poetic like game.
for Russell Wilson or for the
Yeah,
Broncos.
both, just both.
I think the Steelers, because Bo Nix is a rookie, obviously. I think that the Steelers defense, if T.J. Watt is healthy, obviously,
Yeah,
and comes back, and Pickens is there, I think this is a pretty convincing the Steelers, honestly.
I think it's close either way. I think the Broncos would sneak out with it, but we won't know until playoffs.
Yeah.
And then obviously we have Ravens Texans. With the way the Texans have been playing lately, it's Ravens and not even close.
I'm gonna say it's got to be Ravens.
So that would put. Ooh, I'm gonna have to think about this now.
The Chiefs would play. Well, it depends because if
Chiefs.
the Broncos would win, the Chiefs would play the Broncos.
Yeah. So we'll say Steelers win that.
Okay.
We'll just make it easy on me. So that would put Ravens Chiefs.
Ooh, in Arrowhead.
Does Lamar
That
have
would-
that comeback or the not the comeback the
The clutch factor.
yeah, that and the redemption because they played week 1 and lost.
I I don't know, man. Like I feel like the Chiefs, especially in the playoffs, are just a different breed.
I know it's Pat Mahomes in the playoffs, but I don't know. I think if the Chiefs have been playing like they have all season, Mahomes is hobbling into the playoffs. Even injured, Mahomes is still an animal.
Yeah.
I could see this going either way. Honestly, I'll controversial. I'll pick the Ravens here. If the
I would.
Ravens play the way I know they can. It
I
depends
think.
on who's all healthy for the Chiefs, I think.
I mean, you can't really bet against the Chiefs
I
in the
know.
playoffs against the Ravens.
I know.
I think I gotta go with the Chiefs.
Okay.
But I do think
Um,
that would be a really good game.
that would be. Um, so then it would be Bills Steelers. I think the Bills walk them.
I I don't think the Steelers got a defense for the Bills.
No, it'd be a shootout again, but nobody's beating the Bills in a shootout.
Yeah.
So then we have Bills. We'll say Bills Chiefs. Even though I think Bills Ravens would be more entertaining, I still think the Bills take the Chiefs in the AFC Championship.
Yeah, I think the Bills
It's
make it.
close, but I think Josh Allen comes out on top in this one.
I do believe the Bills will make it.
Yeah. Okay, so we can move to the NFC then. It's gonna be weird to see how the 1 seed shakes out. It's hard to predict this one just because of the
Especially,
1 seed.
I was gonna
Because
say
there's
with
3,
three
12, and
teams.
2 teams.
Exactly.
Vikings, Eagles, and Lions.
We're just gonna do if it started today, the Lions get the first seed.
Yep. Okay. So then it'd be 2 Eagles, 3 Bucks, 4 Rams, 5 Vikings, 6 Packers, 7 Commanders.
Yeah.
So Eagles, Commanders in Philly. I think
In
you guys
Philly.
take it, but I think it's a close game.
I think we take it, but
I
I
think
don't I
this
don't think it's
this weekend's gonna be a
a big
kind of
tell.
yeah. If they beat you this weekend, I think they're gonna be riding hot with some momentum. But I still
Yeah.
take Philly over the Commanders in the playoffs.
Yeah. Um. Again, Jaden Daniels being a rookie quarterback, having to deal with the pass rush that I think it was too hard for him the first time. You know.
Yeah,
So I don't think it's going to be a much different story this time around.
yeah. All right, so then we got Buccaneers and Packers.
That'd be a fun game.
That would be a very fun game. That would be played in Tampa Bay.
It would be.
Um, I picked the Packers over the Buccaneers, barring another fucking legacy game from Baker.
And Bucky Irving, because that motherfucker been eating
Yeah,
as of late.
I wanted the Vikings to get him so bad, but Aaron Jones has been great for us.
Yeah, I do think the Packers win this game.
Yeah,
Uh,
Packers are an animal this year too.
I would say probably by 2 scores, whether that's 10, 14. I think they win
I
pretty
think
good.
it's a 1 score game, but the Packers win.
Yeah.
Okay, then Vikings Rams.
The rematch.
I don't think it goes the way the last one went.
I honestly, I don't think so either.
I think the Vikings win it in convincing fashion, especially if we're rolling going into the playoffs.
Yeah, if you keep first of all, if you keep this win streak up and you end the 10 game streak, I feel like you guys are beating whoever you see.
If we went on the 10-game win streak, then we're going to be 1 seed, but
Yeah.
we'll say we either drop one. We'll say we drop one or two of the games. Still, I think we beat the Bucks. So that would leave Lions, Eagles, Vikings, and Packers, which is
So the
insane for
Lion,
the fucking North.
so the Lions would play the Packers.
Yep, and oh no, we go to Philly.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yo, honestly though, I feel like that's a very poetic ending for whoever wins that. Like
I
for us,
yeah, that's you're gonna have to come over if that happens.
100%.
You're gonna have to come over and watch it. Um,
We can't be friends afterwards though.
no, that's where the friendship dies. 12 years of friendship just to die there. It wasn't 2017 that took it out of me. It was this one.
Which is
Um,
weird because this would be a second round. It wouldn't be the championship.
I think it'd be a close game. I think it could go either way, just because
Honestly,
both teams are hot.
I think we're both gonna give different answers, and I think I'm gonna have my team and you're gonna have your.
Yeah, I think so too. I think what we could do with this is it'd be Lions Packers. We do that one, and then I'll take Eagles and Philly actually.
Really?
As much as that pains me to say, I think it would be a good game and something could happen, but just for like to make this a little easier on us because we can't both have a bracket that has two
Yeah,
different teams.
yeah.
Lions Packers, that's gonna be close depending on the health of the Lions.
Well, they
Uh,
already don't have. I don't think they'll have David Montgomery for the rest of the season, no matter what.
I think he's out. That's a
I
big
think he had
blow.
surgery, and then
But
Aleem McNeil, their D tackle, I believe, is already out as well for the.
not to be happy about an injury, but I have Jameer Gibbs on my fantasy team.
That's fucked up. Yo, the craziest thing is that somebody at work said that exact same sentence to me like 2 days ago, and it's so rude to fucking say out loud, but it's so true. I get it.
Yeah, yeah. And I this is first week of the playoffs for me. So,
I didn't. I'm 10th place, but I got $60 for making the least amount of moves. So W's.
yeah. If it's we'll see how the Lions shake out. Honestly, if it's this unhealthy of a Lions team, I'm taking Packers over Lions.
Yeah, if it's how their defense played last week against the Bills,
Yeah.
I am also taking the Packers.
And I told you
I
before
don't.
the season started that Eagles were my pick in the NFC to make the Super Bowl. So
Yeah,
I think I think if depending on how the bracket goes, if we get the one seed, I think we meet you in the NFC Championship, and you guys still beat us. I don't know if you guys come to Minnesota, it could be a whole different story. But
see, I think it could be a different story anyway. Like, I'm not gonna say the Eagles can't lose against the Vikings. It could be Jalen Hurts has one of those games where he literally can't fucking get the ball down the field and just keeps throwing interceptions or keeps fumbling the ball like we did.
he hasn't seen this defense yet either.
He has not.
So Eagles Bills Super Bowl.
Um, I am still hurt by 2022. So I want to say the Eagles will win it
I
because of their defense.
I don't know if the Josh Allen train can be stopped, especially if he beats the Chiefs in the playoffs. He's going to be riding high on momentum.
You know, by that time, I really hope that their engagement is called off. And sad.
Yeah, Sydney Sweeney's going to be on the sidelines for that.
That's fucked up. I don't really wish that, but like something around that nature.
If Sydney Sweeney's at the Super Bowl and the Bills are playing in the Super Bowl, it's Bills by 50.
Yeah, we don't put up a single touchdown. Their defense fucking comes to play that day.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Bills take it. Honestly, if it ended today, I think Bills take it. But
Uh,
obviously, the playoffs you can never predict them. This is
why you
very
gotta hurt?
early. I think
Why
we'll
you
have
gotta,
a better idea next week too. A even better idea.
why you gotta hurt me like that?
I'm sorry, but the Eagles have caused me too much pain, and Josh Allen is just rolling right now.
Yeah.
He deserves one. I'm not saying that Jalen Hurts and
Huh?
the Eagles don't, but the Bills haven't won a Super Bowl. I feel that as a Vikings fan.
The Eagles have never won a Super Bowl. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Nick Foles definitely didn't dick us down in the NFC Championship to catch a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Speaking of, if like Philly in the Super Bowl, I think if the Vikings win the Super Bowl, they're gonna have to double grease the light poles compared to what they did in Philly.
Dude, I feel like because how long have they been in the league?
61.
And they've never won a championship or a Super Bowl or nothing like that.
They won an NFL champ. They won the last NFL championship right before the Super Bowl era.
So it's been a good while since the city of Minnesota has had something to celebrate.
Yeah, we made it to four Super Bowls, I think two in a row, and we
Yeah.
lost them all. We lost to the
So
Chiefs in their first Super Bowl.
yeah, I think it's gonna be about the same, if not worse than.
I don't know. If it could go anyway, like Eagles could get bounced first round, it just could happen. It's too hard to predict.
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks to like think about that, to have such a good season and then
Yeah,
like just shit it all away because you had one bad game.
same with
Playoffs.
the Vikings, dude.
Yeah.
I'm sure Lions fans are starting to feel that way, especially with all the injuries. But
Dude, I feel so bad for the Lions.
yeah, me too, dude. They would be dog walking everyone if they were healthy.
For real.
Did they lose to the Seahawks to start the year?
They lost to the Buccaneers.
Yeah, that's who it was.
The Buccaneers were the only team to beat the Eagles and the Lions.
Yeah, Baker's. I love Baker. I'm such a Baker fan, dude.
So
I don't
you're a
know.
Vikings fan, right?
Yep.
You had to deal with this guy a lot back in the day. Mr. Ron Rodgers.
Yeah. That.
What about that?
Oh my god. I think the Jets as an organization are just a dumpster fire. I don't agree with the Salah firing. I don't think it was on him. I think Rodgers made that happen as much as people say, and Rodgers will say that he didn't make it happen. Salah's a good coach. He is.
Yeah,
I think he'll go find a DC job. If Flores leaves the Vikings, I want them to hire Salah as the DC.
he's on the
Because,
Packers already.
oh, fuck, he is, isn't he?
Yeah, he got picked up.
That sucks. Okay. But yeah, the Jets, I don't know. I think Aaron Rodgers, it's just time for him to hang him up, especially watching him against the Vikings. We made Aaron Rodgers look the worst he ever has in his career. But
I just
I don't
I
know.
can't believe he chose the Jets.
Yeah.
Out of like, and don't get me wrong, the Jets defense last year was insane. Their offense might have been trash, but their defense was fucking insane last year.
I think they would have been great last year if Rodgers didn't get hurt. And especially Rodgers even talked about this, like talking about the Kirk benching.
Yeah.
Being that old, coming off an Achilles tear is so hard to come back from. Like you lose a
Especially,
lot of the mobility in the pocket. Not that old Rodgers still had some good mobility in the pocket, but he wasn't near what he was like in the beginning of his career or his
but I
prime.
also I also think it's the way that he did it. Like he didn't do it the same way Kirk did. Kirk went to rehab and did all that shit. Rodgers was like acting as if nothing happened and walking around perfectly fine.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't want to say
It's
it's
sad,
sad to see
but
because
it
I'm a
is.
Vikings fan, but I don't know. Once Rodgers went to the Jets, I kind of was rooting for him to be honest, because
Like,
he's such a like I don't not down to earth, but like just funny. He's like a funny dude, you know. He's like I could have a beer with Aaron Rodgers, you know.
I don't hate him like how you hate him. I know how you hate him because I hate Dak Prescott. Exact same way.
Yeah,
But
you hated
um,
Eli like that too.
yeah, Eli was a bitch. Um, but like back-to-back MVPs, he was a really good fucking quarterback for a long.
I will say the 2020 season was the last MVP, right? Or is it 2021?
I I think it was 21. Might have
I
been
don't think
20.
he I don't think he deserved the 2021 MVP. His stats were not all that great. Yeah, like yeah, he had a winning football team, but with that roster that they had that year, how could you not?
See, that's one of the things I don't like about like the MVP award. If you're the most valuable player in the league, you should be the best player on the best team. So like this year, who it would be somebody on the Chiefs. Like it had that is the best team record wise.
See,
You gotta give.
I look at it a different way. Like, it's the player that means the most to their respected team.
Yeah, but like if you look at it like that this season, that's Joe Burrow.
I guess, yeah. I don't
He
know.
is the
It's
most.
got to be some middle ground, you know? Like, it's got to be, like, Josh Allen. That's both of our picks right now. Like, they're not
Yeah,
the best record, but he has been carrying that Buffalo team.
yeah, 100%.
But
And I mean, like him and James Cook, like first of all, they're receivers. I don't know. I think they're who's their number one.
the Bills,
Yeah, if you say Amari Cooper, it's not because he had
Keon.
really.
Keon Coleman, probably. I don't know stat wise, but if it's not Amari, it's Keon. Keon has stepped into the number one role.
Well, I
But
was gonna say because Amari didn't have a single catch against the Lions, not one
no.
catch.
But Justin Jefferson has also had those games where he's triple covered, you know. But you really can't
Yeah,
compare that. JJ is just he's like I don't know. It's how
inhuman.
people used to like guard Tyreek and shit, and like Devonte Adams. He'd just get double and triple covered the whole game and just completely shut down. But with the Vikings, when you do that, it's like when teams try to shut down AJ Brown, then Devontae Smith is going to eat. If you try to shut down Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison's going to eat.
Yeah, but like it's not that he didn't have a catch. He didn't even have a target. They
Yeah.
didn't even he didn't even throw him the ball. Like not even a jump ball, nothing. Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Amari's like revived his career though, because he was. I don't think he was doing that well on the Browns. It could be clouded by like the Browns are just dog shit.
I was gonna say you got to look at it like last year. Amari Cooper. I think I don't think Deshaun Watson was hurt at all. I think he had Deshaun.
No, I think he was hurt last year, and then he had a full year this year.
Well, he didn't have a full year. He tore his Achilles in like week 7.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, Joe Flacco. Oh, no, okay. I don't think Deshaun. I think Deshaun was hurt. It was Joe Flacco. That was when his Joe Flacco.
Yeah, that's when Joe Flacco went insane, and
Yeah, and
he
took him to the
brought them to
playoff.
the playoffs.
Yeah, okay.
Did they win their playoff game or did they lose?
I think they lost. I think that. I think pretty sure they lost.
I think he had a good game, but shout out Joe Flacco.
Yeah, except for when you took Anthony Richards' job for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, that's when they played the Vikings, so I won't shit talk that much. But I think I think it was the right decision, especially the way our defense was playing at that time. Anthony Richardson would have been like horrified by our defense.
Bro, he is horrified by anybody's defense.
He's
It
tired.
seems like
He's tired.
like it's dude, it's something. Like you look at a game and he got 86 throwing 2 for 9. He just had a 70-yard bomb and a little dump off.
Yeah, when Anthony Richardson got drafted, I heard a lot of like Tebow comparison just because of like Florida and running quarterback. You know, you can't
Yeah.
do that. Anthony Richardson has, I'd say he has elite arm talent just off of arm strength alone, but it's
Hey
just
man,
he can't throw the short ball to save his life.
shout out Tebow. Speaking of Tebow, shout
T-
out Tebow, dog.
Tebow just he couldn't pass to save his life, dude. He couldn't read a
Dude,
defense.
I fucking loved the Tebow era in the NFL.
I did
And
too.
under
Like
him and as quarterback.
he'd have like 50 yards passing and like 200 rushing, and they'd win.
I love it because every time, no matter if it was a good game or a bad game, he'd go in the locker room, be like, "Praise God, I love God,
Yeah,
thank God." Like, come
yeah.
on, man.
Well, I think Tebow's a good thing to end this on. What do you think?
Yeah, we're talking about this year's NFL, and Tebow is what we ended on.
Yep, yep. Good, good. I think we got to end every podcast on quarterback we used to love.
Yeah, shout out Tebow, baby.
Shout out Tebow.